Now, in this story, it's coming from Exodus 33 and 34. The Lord promises to go with Moses and Israel to the promised land, and he reveals himself to Moses in the cleft of the rock, where he shows his glory to Moses. Now, the Lord told Moses, now take your people who you brought out of Egypt and lead them to the land flowing with milk and honey, which I promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and I will send my angel ahead of you to drive out the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Hivites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, and the Jebusites. But I will not go with you, because you people are a stiff-necked people, and I might have to destroy you on the way. Now, when the people heard this, they mourned. Now, Moses would set up or pitch a tent outside the Israelite camp called the Tent of Meeting, and there Moses would go out to meet with the Lord, and the people would sit by their tents or stand by their tents and watch Moses as he entered the tent of meeting. And the cloud would come down, the pillar of cloud would come down and rest at the entrance to the tent. And the Lord would speak to Moses face to face, like a man speaks to his friend. Now Moses said to the Lord, Lord, you've been telling me to lead these people, but you have not said who you will send with me. Now, if I have found favor with you, if you're pleased with me, then teach me your ways so that I may continue to find your favor. Now, remember, Moses said, this people, this nation, they are your people. Now the Lord told Moses, my presence will go with you, Moses. And then Moses said to the Lord, Lord, if you don't go with us, then don't send us up from here, because if you don't go with us, how will anybody know that you're pleased with us? And what will distinguish us from all the other peoples on the earth? Now the Lord told Moses, Moses, I will do what you have asked. Now Moses asked the Lord, Lord, show me your glory. And the Lord said to Moses, I will cause my goodness to pass before you. I will put you in the cleft of a rock and cover you with my hand. And then when I pass by, I will lift my hand so that you can see my back, but nobody can see my face. You cannot see my face, because no one can see me and live. Now the Lord told Moses to chisel 2 tablets of stone, like the ones that Moses had broken, and Moses was to go up Mount Sinai in the morning to meet with the Lord. He was to go by himself. Moses got up, he took the tablets of stone, he went up Mount Sinai, and the cloud came down on Mount Sinai, and the Lord passed before Moses, proclaiming, the Lord, the gracious and compassionate God, who is slow to anger, who's abounding in steadfast love and faithfulness, who shows love or maintains love to thousands, and who forgives sin and wickedness, but who will not let the guilty go unpunished. Now Moses bowed in worship, and he said to the Lord, Lord, if you're pleased with me, then go with us. Now this is a stiff-necked people. Now forgive our sins and wickedness, and take us as your inheritance. And the Lord said, I am making my covenant with you, and I will show or perform my wonders before you. You must obey me, and I will drive out the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Hivites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, and the Jebusites. But you must not make a treaty with any of the peoples in the land, because they'll be a snare to you. You are to break down their altars, smash their sacred stones, and not worship any other gods, because the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God. Now, the Lord promised to drive the nations out from before them, and to increase their territory, and to protect their land when all the Israelite men went up to meet with the Lord, the God of Israel, 3 times a year. And Moses was to write all this down, because the Lord was making his covenant with Moses and with Israel. Now Moses was 40 days and 40 nights on Mount Sinai, and when he came down Mount Sinai with the tablets of the covenant, Moses' face was radiant, because he had been speaking with the Lord. And when the Israelite leaders saw that Moses' face was radiant, they were afraid. But Moses called them to him, and he told them all the commandments that the Lord had given to Moses. And then Moses covered his face with a veil. And then Moses, when he would go back into the tent of meeting to meet with the Lord, he would remove the veil, and then he would come out and he would speak to the Israelites, telling them what the Lord had said. And then he would cover his face again until he would go back in to meet with the Lord again. And this is the story. It's coming from Exodus 33 and 34.